Hello and welcome to Wisdom Workshop. Please like the video and subscribe with all notifications turned on so that you won't miss any of our upcoming videos like this. What would Elon Musk say about himself? Probably brilliant, wealthy, a playboy, and philanthropist. Since the past few months have been so hard and challenging, he undoubtedly feels stressed though. Not because he finds it amusing, but he has been sleeping on the manufacturing floor since he lacks the time to get home and shower. He believes that individuals should not be put through suffering while the CEO is on vacation. The truth is more powerful than fiction. This is why it's vital, and even though the odds are stacked against you, it's worthwhile to attempt because he believes you can build a wonderful company. What's the difference between a successful and an unsuccessful startup? Well, the successful one and the failed one both commit mistakes, but the successful one acknowledges the faults and swiftly remedies them, while the unsuccessful one attempts to deny that the mistakes even existed. He discovered it while studying physics. In physics, you're always taught to question yourself, to always assume that you're wrong rather than right, and you have to prove yourself that you're not wrong. So he believes that the physics framework is where he learned it and that it's very effective learning counterintuitive things that aren't obvious. If you're not failing, you're not being inventive. You just do things that are guaranteed to succeed, and you will only be doing extremely apparent things. There will be mistakes while constructing anything new, and it's always critical to recognize those shortcomings, admit them, and take remedial action. That the success of a firm is determined by how quickly you remedy mistakes rather than whether you create or confess problems. The most crucial thing when starting a firm or a startup or even joining one is to recruit exceptional employees. So either join an incredible organization that you truly respect, or if you're starting a startup, you need to assemble outstanding individuals. I mean, all that makes a firm is a group of individuals who have come together to develop a product or service, and the success of the company is determined by how brilliant and hardworking that group is, as well as the degree to which they're oriented cohesively in a good direction. So if you're starting a business, do all you can to attract exceptional individuals and prioritize signal over noise. Many businesses become perplexed and waste money on items that do not improve the product. For example, Tesla has never spent money on advertising. They've poured all of their money into research and development, production, and design in order to make the automobile as wonderful as possible, and I believe that's the way to go. So, for each particular organization, bear in mind if the efforts those individuals are putting forth are resulting in a superior product or service. If they're not, their attempts must be halted. Finally, don't simply follow the crowd. Take a look at the physics method of first principles, which states that rather than thinking by analogy, you should distill things down to the most fundamental facts you can imagine and then reason up from there. This is a great approach to determine whether something makes sense or whether it's simply what everyone else is doing. It's hard to think that way about everything, and it often takes a lot of work. But it's the ideal way to think when attempting to achieve anything new. That framework was created by physicists to solve counterintuitive problems such as quantum mechanics, thus it's a really effective strategy. Then, I believe the final thing I would advise you to do is to take risks today. As you get older, your responsibilities grow, and as you have a family, you begin to take risks not only for yourself, but also for your family. It becomes much more difficult to undertake things that may not work out. Therefore, now is the time to do them before you have those commitments. So, I would advise you to take risks today and do something daring. You won't be sorry. Elon Musk is filled with dread, but there are times when something is essential enough that you believe in it enough to accomplish it despite your fear. People should think, well, I'm afraid of something, so I shouldn't do it. But it's reasonable to be afraid. When Elon Musk founded SpaceX, he estimated that his chances of success were fewer than 10%. Actually, he just accepted it. He would just lose everything. But if they could just propel the ball ahead, even if they perished, perhaps another business could pick up the baton and continue driving it forward so that they may yet do some good. Similarly, Tesla believed that the chances of a vehicle company surviving were exceedingly slim. So where did Elon Musk's toughness and perseverance come from? He believed nervous breakdowns were absurd, but he recalls waking up on the Sunday before Christmas in 2008 thinking, "Dang, this is the closest I've ever come to having a mental breakdown." Elon Musk's situation was looking bleak since, while SpaceX's fourth launch had been successful, they were still running out of funds since they had 3 failures and 1 victory, which was still insufficient. Tesla's funding had not completed and they had only 2 days before Christmas to do so. So he thought to himself, this might be a really horrible finish of the year because both businesses may fail. He didn't cry, but his sleep was difficult. That is what made Elon Musk so tough and persevered through the issues. People are not critical enough. Critical thinking is a talent in low supply in a world where individuals accept too many things to be true without sufficient evidence. As a result, it's critical that individuals critically examine what is assumed to be true and attempt to evaluate things from basic principles rather than by analogy or by convention. It's difficult to get insight into how things may be improved if you think things are true by convention, which is what most people do. In every argument or line of thought, you should ensure that the underlying premises are valid and appropriate, and then in reaching a conclusion that the conclusion you're arriving in is inextricably linked to the underlying premises and their interrelationships. That may appear to be a very simple thing to say, yet most people don't do it. It is the very foundation of reasonable cognition. On a personal level, people tend to overestimate their danger, and it's one thing if you have a mortgage to pay and children to maintain, and if you leave your job you wonder, how am I going to feed my family and pay the mortgage? That's understandable, but what if you're young and barely out of college or high school? What do you risk? You're not going to give up. It's so simple to make enough money to live somewhere and do it. That's quite simple, so I'm not sure what they're frightened of. They're largely terrified of failure. When there isn't much at stake, individuals should be less risk-averse. What do you think about Elon Musk's advice? Do you agree or do you disagree? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments section down below, as we would really appreciate your thoughts on this. Also, if you want to watch more videos like this, be sure to check out our channel because there are definitely more wisdom-inspiring videos in there. Again, thank you very much for watching our video. If you liked the video, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and also hit the bell icon so that you'll get notified when we have a new video upcoming soon.